My name's Dylan with Espresso Outlet. We're going to be interviewing.
Emmanuel Velasquez, yeah.
If you guys have any commercial equipment needs, if you're looking for any kind of coffee equipment, you can head over to Espresso Outlet, and one of us team members will be able to assist you right away and get you the exact equipment that you need to get your business up and going, or whether it's at home use as well. So today we are going to be having another interview, and I'm just going to kind of turn it over to you and just have you kind of briefly introduce yourself, so everybody that's watching from home can kind of get to know you a little bit more.
Mhm. So my name is Emmanuel Velasquez. I started the coffee business maybe like 3, 4 years ago when COVID hit. I work as a chef. That's uh, my main job. I've been working as a chef over maybe 15 years, about 20 years, and I recently moved to Florida. I'm living in Florida. I'm from Puerto Rico, and after the Hurricane Maria, I decided to come to Florida, uh, start over again. Uh, I have a daughter. She's 8 now, but by the time that she came, she was like a year and a half. I started in Center uh, Florida. I moved to Kissimmee. I stayed in Kissimmee probably like a year. Then I went down to Boynton Beach. Then now I've been living maybe about 4 years in Boynton Beach. And then I start like I love cooking. I have a lot of passion on it. There is a lot of dedication. So when I start working here in United States, it was like a little different. You know, it was uh, more made. In to serve to a lot of people, to more commercial. And I was losing the passion of cooking. It was everything like little different the way they used to work back in Puerto Rico. Yeah, I decided to start with coffee. I always loved coffee in the restaurant business. You always see the espresso machine, the waiter working with the coffee, and you always take a look, and it's something fun. But when I start doing the research on how to maybe open like a little coffee business, what I need and stuff, it get every day more complicated. About the equipment, the water, uh, the coffee, everything have like like something to look from. I don't know if I'm saying more like from behind. If you see the the espresso shot, it's like there is something behind that espresso shot. There is some dedication. There is some maybe the guy who's brewing that espresso. He dialed in that espresso in one recipe that everybody can enjoy. So COVID hit. I stay home. I start buying some little home uh, coffee equipment, little like home espresso machine. I think my first espresso machine was the Saeco Via Venezia.
Yep.
Yeah. So I did some modification, cut out the port portafilter to make it naked, and you know, start working to see if I can put like a nice shot of espresso. Then espresso machine became like a hobby. I started buying espresso machines at home. I start like rebuilding the one that wasn't working. Just start to sell it back that espresso machine. So I start making like a little profit. You know, at the same time, I was learning how to the espresso machine works and what component they have inside, what to do, when something's not working.
So how long did it take you to actually get used to using your first espresso machine to where you understood how to pull a good shot and how to froth milk, like the proper technique? How long did that take you when you got your first espresso machine?
So with this first one with the Vietnamese, the by the way, I for, for a lot of home brewers, there is a difference, espresso machine in the market, and I believe like those machines, they're, you know, they are well built. You know, it's a different type of brew. There's a different type of machine, but I think it took me maybe like 8 months, 9 months, to figure out, the water temperature, how to grind uh, properly. Uh, every day, I was doing researching, searching because the thing that I never worked as a barista, so I didn't know what I was doing. Everything I was looking was, YouTube videos. Some I went to the blogs, to read what people were saying about espresso, and
So,
it
so
took me a while.
you started making, did you start making espresso on your espresso machine before you started roasting coffee and you were buying other people's coffee and then you kind of got
Yes,
inspired to start roasting? And what inspired you to
yeah.
start roasting your own coffee?
Uh, the process, about how you get, oh, I think like being working as a chef, it gave me more, to the cooking process on the coffee. And I'm not, it was difficult because, I respect of the coffee roaster and have the knowledge, have, the experience year by year, maybe talking with the farmers, maybe, visiting some farmer and see what they're doing, because all behind the roaster is what the farmer are doing.
What was your first coffee roaster? And how long did it take you to get familiar with it to where you were actually happy with what you were roasting?
When I decide to buy the roaster, you know, it was another research about maybe 3 4 months in a small uh, coffee roaster, and the capacity of the roaster, is very limited when you search into small coffee roaster or sample roaster. And I don't know what to do. I was, in the middle of everything. The maybe I need a coffee roaster because I'm building my coffee car. Yeah, I want to have my own beans, and I decided to went with the hockey 500.
Yep.
I don't know if you see it, and I think the hockey was, at first it was like one of my favorite roaster. It was, you working with a hand built coffee roaster. It's a drum roaster. Work with gas, and I know with a little couple modification, add on to the machine, I'm gonna be able, to roast a decent coffee.
So take us through, everybody watching, take us through a day in the life of Blue Box Coffee and what it's like to start up, tear down, and what don't people see besides when you're at the event? So what do you do after the event or before the event that get you prepared to serve the community?
So in the process that I was building Blue Box Coffee, I was looking, to have like espresso machine. It was able to serve like maybe 150 people in maybe 4 hours or something. or something that I can push, and it don't let me to stop because I need to wait on the machine to heat the water, maybe wait on the machine to steam the milk. Yeah, I decided it was one of the machines that I get. It was the Astoria Gloria level machine.
Yep.
And when I get the machine, I found the machine here in Florida. I bought a used. The machine wasn't working, and I was lucky to find the one. It came with a 120 volt, so I
Yep.
can plug the machine like anywhere without any problem. And then the next step was to find the the gas system because I convert the machine to propane. And
How hard was that to convert that machine to a propane?
it's if you handy, if you know what you're doing, and it's easy, to place the power on it. Then you need to find out, if the gas is coming out right. That was like the uh, the tricky part because I never worked with, with gas. And but it took me over a year to find the the propane system for the machine. And I finally get it. I I get it from the coffee guy in UK. He was the one who helped me, to set up the machine, to install. We get like a lot of communication in this installation process. And I finally get it, build the car. At the same time, I was thinking, I need to build something so I can handle myself. I can push it anywhere by myself. So I built like a little car. I hooked up the machine to the car because, removing the machine and put it back to the car, that's a whole mess. You know, that machine, I think, weigh over 200 pounds.
Jeez.
And it's not easy, when you're working by yourself. And Blue Boss Coffee, like, it takes a lot of time, you know, the people who think, to do like coffee pop-ups, go to, surfing the wedding. I'm doing only farmers market on Saturday, but on Monday I start working, making sure that I have the coffee already roast, for Saturday, roasting coffee to make the cold brew that is a different, type of roast, doing my little coffee bags. And it take like a lot of time, and it's very hard when you work, by yourself. And I don't know, it's crazy.
So, like you said it best. I mean, people don't understand how long it truly takes to go to an event and be able to serve the community. We don't do it because we enjoy doing the startup and tear down. We do it because we enjoy serving the community and we enjoy just making coffee in general. And that's, I think that's what pushes most of us coffee vendors out there, to really bring specialty coffee to communities where they can enjoy a cup of coffee, and just seeing the smiles from the customer is, in my opinion, really worth it.
Mhm.
You said you built your own cart, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to show everybody your cart. So it's a really nice looking cart. So this is his Instagram, and just kind of walk us through. Let me try to center it here. So just kind of walk us through what was going on and how you designed the cart.
Okay, that car, I found the car like in the marketplace. I think they use it for, what do you mean? For carpet, to it was like a mechanic who have all the equipment to work with the carpet. So at first when I saw it, I say, yo, you know, that's the first start. now I need to, to rebuild it because the car was taller. So it was like all metal frame. I need to cut it, to weld it, make it, like the right side to fit for me. So I take everything apart, sand everything, buying some uh, so steel plank or something, to cut the walls. And I think it took me like over a week, sanding, polishing the car, put it in that condition. And then I decided to put like the little shelf to put some product, maybe my coffee bags, some other stuff that maybe can help me, to get a little more space.
So after
And
building the cart, would you would you recommend somebody wanting to start a coffee business and do pop-up events? Would you recommend that they start by building and taking pride in what they built, or would you recommend them going out and purchasing a cart from somebody who already pre-made it for them?
okay, in my opinion, you need to be very handy, to deal with a lot of different material. Maybe have the idea, how to take the right measurement and stuff to put everything level or whatever. But who is looking to go into the business, you have, that type of skill, do it. And it's gonna take some time, it's gonna save you some money. But if you are in the rush, to have something already built, it helps. If you have the money to spend it, whoever can buy, maybe like a 2,000, 3,000 coffee cart, is, you know, it help, because you're not gonna waste all that time like trying to fit something for your need. And maybe sometimes, you need to cut everything out and start over again. You know what's gonna happen.
Yep. I think it took us about a month to get our cart done, and that was me working my other job full time. So this was
Mhm.
more of like a weekend thing, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday for a whole month straight. So I mean, we built our cart probably for under 1,200, and I know there's a company out there, Simple Cart Systems, and I think it's like $6,000 for
I
a
know.
cart.
I've been watching some, and sometimes I think maybe I can change, have like a little house and build some cars for the people. Because let me tell you, those cars, they're they're expensive.
They're expensive, man. You can make a
They're
lot of money
expensive.
just making coffee carts. The nice thing about and what I would tell anybody starting out is you take pride in what you do. So for me, I never really ventured into carpentry and building things, and this was kind of a task that I wanted to do not only for me, but to have the uniqueness of my own cart to where nobody out there has the same style cart that I have. It's not going to
Hmm.
be the exact same cart out there that someone can just buy off online.
It's
And
fine because people walk through and they see where you get that car.
yep,
I built it. It took me a little while, but it's mine.
you take pride in it, and they can just feel how much passion you have to do what you're doing. And that I think that's where the great thing comes from it.
That happened. That happened. A lot of people, the market, they you see that in my when I go to the market and set up. I don't know, the Astoria lever machine is a nice machine. It's a big machine that people see and say, "Hey, what are he doing over there?" And the people who know about the power that that machine use, they walk around the tent looking for the generator. They ask me, "Hey, how you running that machine?" And I told them it's propane. I'm working with a little battery, to run my whole electric system. And people, that's gold.
Man, I
You
can't
can
tell
serve
you
coffee anywhere, in the
I can't
middle of
tell
the
you how
street,
great that would be
everywhere.
to have a propane. I mean, it's super quiet. and you have a lever machine, so that's not very loud in general.
No,
And
there is no noise on it.
man, I have two generators and they run my espresso machine, my grinder, my kettle. They are inverter generators, so they're quieter, but to have something like yours as a gas and have no sound, that's a
Like
win-win for you.
the people in the weddings and stuff, like I only use the propane system in the like outdoor. Yeah, I let it down. I had it, I had some propane. You allow me to use it or whatever. And people, they appreciate it. There is no noise. They feel good. You can put like a little music in the background, and you good.
So you said you serve at your farmer's market. Do you have
Mhm.
any other locations that you serve throughout the week, or have you done other events? If you don't go per week, do you go to other events other than the farmer's market?
No, like I started in the farmers market last year. It was the first season. I've I've been visiting the Royal Palm farmers market, and at first, when I started last year, it took me maybe like a year. When I built the car, maybe it took me another year, to get the permit and stuff. Look, you know, it's a little tricky when you go and search about coffee permit and stuff, and if you don't have the knowledge, there is a lot of information. When you hit permit, you don't really know where you are, and I served last year only Saturdays, and this year I was, in my mind was I need to get another day, you know, not just Saturday. But the thing is that I work Monday to Friday, 3 to 11. By the time I get out from work on Fridays, it's already, 12:30 to put everything together. And now I'm doing pastries this year, and it's something, it helped. Uh, my last weekend, it was the first one that I put my pastry on, and way different. Whoever can buy pastry and have it, it's a plus. People appreciate it. People buy it, and you know, it's another way, to make like another income.
So
And
what is your most popular drink on your menu, and why would you say it's the most popular?
uh, right now, the the market that I'm visiting, it was I sell a lot of ice drinks, coffee, and a lot of caramel, a lot of syrup. I have like 5 different options, and that's you know they love that. They love that. That's like my caramel latte, the vanilla oatmeal latte. You know, that's it's like my top seller in the market. Eh, Sometimes in the coffee industry is really big, and sometimes it's a little different. Whatever you want to do, or it's people. I think most of the people, they see coffee in a different way. You know, and yeah, I'm talking like being as a barista, being as a roaster, being as a customer. It's very hard. Like at, at first, yeah, it's something that I need to work on it. You know, to sell my coffee bags is really hard. I start doing like dark roast, and it helped me a lot. You know, Sometimes you try to teach the customer about a specialty coffee, about how better it is. Not just have like a dark roast. Yeah, I come from the island. I come from Puerto Rico, and let me tell you, there's a lot of dark roast coffee in Puerto Rico, and it was something that I grew up drinking, And right now, it's not my best choice to drink, you know. And I try, the people talk about it, try this, I give coffee for free. That's right. If you don't like it, I make you another one. And it's very hard, to know what you want or what type of business you want. And I'm selling iced coffee right now. That's my best seller. You're gonna stick to it, make like a couple, house drink to to keep selling.
So for those of them out there who are mobile like we are, would you say it's important to have a condensed menu so that a way you don't have to travel with as much? Because
Hmm.
what would your opinion or what would your take on having a condensed menu as a mobile coffee business be?
It the first thing, if you're working by yourself and you don't have any helper, start small, start maybe with the basic drinks. Make sure like those recipe standard, that you're looking for. You serve to the customer because they're gonna notice the difference, and they tell you like right away. This is amazing coffee. This is different. The Dunkin' Donut, the Starbucks, you know, they're gonna notice that and they're gonna appreciate it. They're gonna come back for more coffee. And I started serving just espresso latte and ice drink. Then I decided to put the cold brew on it, and step by step, little by little. You're serving coffee. People are looking for the coffee early in the morning. I wish I can sell more hot coffee. I like hot coffee. If you want to do it, if you decide go, because the thing that you need to understand, it gonna consume your, maybe your morning time if you work in the afternoon, or your afternoon time, setting up, putting up together the coffee. I, I do my coffee labels.
Oh,
I got in, I hooked up the Cricut with the computer, I have some different printers on it, and it's time. All of this that you're doing, I don't have nobody, to custom my logos, to do my labels, to even the money, to start paying maybe like dollar 50 for a sticker, for a label or something. It's something, it takes time. And you don't see that money coming back to you. Don't be surprised, you go to the market, sell, I don't know, X number, 300-400 bucks or whatever. But when you put all your time during the week, when you put, it's hard. But little by little, I'm sure, that you guys gonna get there. Uh, think smart in the, in in the way, what are you gonna do? What do you want? What type of machine? What what type of workflow you want to have? Because that's very important. You know, and go ahead, go outside, find the spot. I'm planning, little by little now. I wish, because last year I didn't have my food vendor license, so this year I get my food vendor license. And at first, I researched about it, a lot of information. You need to get like a commissary kitchen. The kitchen need to certify you that you do your stuff over there, and a lot of money. You need to pay for everything. And I was very happy when I get it, because I don't know how to do it yet, but I need to find like a spot for everyday morning. To maybe to put my tent, because I bought a trailer I
Yep.
think it's about 16 foot by 7 or 8 wide. And I started the trailer. I painted. Uh, I painted the trailer. I did the window, and I need to work all inside, like all the walls, the roof, the floor. It's something that I wanna finish. I think little before December.
So you plan
And
on actually serving out of an actual trailer, right?
yes, but I wanna build it because I have the coffee car already, and the coffee car fit on the trailer. So all the equipment is gonna stay in the coffee car. So I wanna build like a little u- utility trailer. Put my. I bought the three compartment sink already. I have some water filtration system that I need to put on the trailer. But I already have it. Water tank and stuff. I have it, and I need to finish it. But the thing is that I wanna build it that I can use it in multiple uh, use. That maybe because uh, I do coffee. I work as a chef. My wife, she do like wedding decoration, birthday
Okay.
decoration, but on the side, it's something that we don't do it, for living. We just sometimes, people reach out, they know about sort of whatever, and they ask, man, do you wanna do my decoration or something? If we have the time and stuff, we do it. We do like a lot of custom stuff for the client. I also, I've been working in some of the wedding, the birthday. I do, the catering stuff.
Yep.
So I, I want to be able, to keep using the trailer if I need to, move some stuff to one side to the other. So I want to build like a utility trailer, like a concession trailer. So I have the space to work anything.
So at an event, kind of change the topic area here. So at an event, what would you say has been the most challenging situation that has arisen, and how did you overcome that, being mobile and obviously having to be at the event? Could you think of a certain situation that was the most challenging, and what did you do to overcome that?
No, I did a wedding. Uh, Someone reached out to me through Instagram. They have a wedding. It was I'm not sure it was for 180 people, and they went to the market. They tried the coffee. They love it. They want me there. They saw the car. They think that fit perfect for the wedding. And but 180 people uh, by myself again. Uh, I talked with her. I told her, Mera, you wanna have, like a cocktail hour for the coffee. Yeah, yeah, I told her, I'm gonna be honest. I won't be able to serve, you know, it's gonna be for 2 hours. I'm not gonna be able to serve maybe, for 180 people. Maybe I can charge you, for 100. If you want me to stay a little longer, I stay a little longer. I, I don't mind to do it. And I find my brother-in-law, he came from Puerto Rico like 2 days before. So I talked to him, you need to go and help me. At least, to give the cup to the guests or to give me the orders to me. It was my like the first big event that I didn't know what I was doing. Maybe you can serve like 180 people easier, but for that time, I don't think about maybe to bring some cold brew, maybe to bring some hot uh, brew coffee, have the espresso machine on the side. There is different way that you can set up, but I bring just my espresso machine to the party. And I realize when I get there, like there is nothing else, just coffee. So you have 180 people around you looking at you like, what you doing, man? It was very, very funny. You know, we set up everything, whatever. Uh, but something happened. I forgot to turn off the pump, the water pump. So so when I was working, like I can tell now that I've been working with Astoria, you I can tell, when she's maybe a little over pressure, when she need a little water, I can tell because the noise of the steam or something, I can tell. But in that moment, I realized, oh shit, I'm getting out of water. What should I do? I turn on the pump, and the first thing that you see coming down
Is the pressure.
is the pressure gauge. So I turn off the machine, the water pump again. I did some modification that I don't recommend to do it, but I, I did some modification in the propane system that I can manual send like more pressure. And I put it back running, but it was like 10, 15 minutes of suspend, like
Everyone's just
everybody,
watching you
yeah.
like, what are you doing? You're
Everybody,
frantically trying to work through it.
yeah, yeah. But everything went good, we keep talking, whatever. I have a few other espresso made, I just take a little longer steaming, little longer. I told my brother, just take it easy, breathe, don't even look around, just wait.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because we did our first wedding. I think it was either the end of last year or the beginning of this year. And we had 220 people, I believe, at the wedding. We served about 172 people in 2 hours. And
Insane.
I'm working with a single group. I think yours is a double group at least.
And don't,
So
don't,
I have a single group espresso machine. It's the Linea Mini. And I have only espresso drinks. So
mm,
I only have that at the wedding. And I had a helper that's never once helped me ever because my wife was normally the one that helped me, but she was in school and couldn't help me at the time until like very, very late in the night. But we were there for 2 hours and we ended up serving, like I said, over 170 people in 2 hours. And the way that we did it was the person that was helping me was taking all the orders, writing them all in the cups, and then
mm,
the espresso. I would get all the drinks pretty much prepped for when I just give it back to him, puts the lid on,
mm,
gives it to the customer. But I can say that it was um, very uneasy, I guess you could say, very nerve wracking, especially having your
mm,
first wedding. I mean, it's not only did they already prepay you, but this is somebody else's big day that they're expecting you to make it that
the
special day
expectation
for
they're high,
them. And
they're not getting lower.
just like you said, we were under the impression that there was going to be other drink options available, like maybe an open bar. We had no idea. I didn't really ask that, and that would be something that I would say to make sure to ask. And we showed up. We were the only beverage people there, so everybody wanted coffee. So
No, it was
I was
insane.
telling I was telling the guy who was working with me, don't look up, just keep taking one person at a time. I'm gonna crank out as many drinks as I possibly can, and we're gonna get through this. This is how it's gonna go. And you know, we psych ourselves out. We over prepare, which is a good thing. It's always good to over prepare as opposed to under prepare. And it
Mm,
was it was definitely a good first experience to really open me up to where I know what to do the next time and the right questions to ask to where I can make myself feel more comfortable in that
Mhm,
situation, kind of like what you said. I mean, it was even harder for you because obviously you had that issue going on. And I mean, quick thinking pop up, you have a line of people, everybody's looking at you. You're the only coffee person
everybody.
there and the only person serving something. All eyes are on you at that moment. So to be handy, like you said, you went back when you were saying to build your own cart just because then you can be handy, you know how to fix things. It's always
Mhm,
good to be familiar with the equipment that you're using, whether you've
mhm,
taken it apart to clean it, whether you've taken it apart just to look at it. Because in an instance like that, if you had no prior knowledge on something like that, that whole day could have been just ruined. And
mhm.
you were able to fix it in that 10-15 minutes and get the show on, and you were able to continue serving. So I think that's a good story for people who are getting into the mobile business, or even if they already have a mobile business and they haven't experienced that so far. I think this is a good first time
Mhm.
hearing and knowing, yeah, maybe I should make sure to be over prepared to where if something like this happens, then we can get it going with it.
Yeah, that day was, it was a nice day.
How do you go above and beyond to ensure that you give the best customer experience possible?
The customer, when you're dealing with customer, you need to have, I think, the first thing, like a great way to, to talk with the customer. I think the customer service, that when you're working in the market or in the wedding, that visual connection, it help you. That's that for me the best, the best start. And then, you know, when I start, for me, to serve, some nice latte art to the customer, it was like one of the main goal. That's why I started buying, coffee equipment at home to try, different different machine, how to learn, to steam the milk, how to get, the right, uh, you know, the, like the right texture, to the coffee, so the coffee, the customer can enjoy, a nice cup of coffee. And then, like the reason I decided, to start roasting is to have my own, fresh roasted coffee. I roast coffee maybe like 4 or 5 days before the event. So I'm literally, covering most everything to have a great cup of coffee and making sure that customer experience is great. They giving them a reason, to come back to you and say, thank you for the coffee. See you tomorrow. See you next week. That connection, the community connection, I think here is hard. Living in United States is like it's different. Like the way I grow up in Puerto Rico, the maybe you living in a neighbor that everybody. You know everybody. Everybody maybe eh, you know or they're outside looking. You know here, you don't even know your neighbor, and that you know that community. Uh, I think for me, the best way to go as a community, is giving the trust to the people, be able, help your community, be together, you know, and I'm sure, one of the main reason coffee bring a lot of people together, or early in the morning, or late in the afternoon. You know, as as Puerto Rican, we drink coffee before bed. It's 8 o'clock, 8:30. Just make it like a little sandwich with coffee. And you see like most of your family there, your aunts, your uncle. They come in for that little cup of coffee before go to bed and share, some moment together. And that is something I want to keep, trying to building up. And I'm very honest with people, and I'm very giving to the people. Like I want to help you. I just want to, have that feeling like you're living good, a good life, doing good.
Yeah, no, I couldn't even say it better myself. I mean, you hit it right on the head. I mean,
Mhm,
the
mhm,
best
You know.
the best thing about having a passion for coffee is being able to share it with someone else
Mhm,
or a loved one, friends, family. You said it brings people together all around the world. It brings people together at all times of day, and it's just something to where it's almost like a comfort feeling to be
mhm,
able to have friends around, have family around, have a cup of coffee, and to be able to serve that enjoyment that gives people the ability to really enjoy the moment is something that truly is special about what we do.
And it's like what I said, at first, like coffee is so different for a lot of people. It's different ways. It's you cannot judge coffee because I'm drinking this, maybe this cup of coffee that you don't like, but I'm sure like that guy who's having that coffee and his family member, whatever, everybody go to get that cup of coffee. So coffee
Yeah.
is very, it's, I think it's the way you share with the people, and I think that's it, the most important, the way
So,
you.
so before we wrap it up, um, I'll do two more things. So I'm going to have you wrap it up by saying if you could give somebody one piece of advice that maybe you've learned or that you would want to share to somebody, what would that one piece of advice be starting a mobile coffee business? And after we get that question done, I'm gonna have you just show everybody the setup behind you because I've seen it on Instagram. You can I'll post your link on the video description so they can kind of see what you do. You also have
Mhm.
a website to where it shows about your coffee cart and stuff like that. So I'll share that as well. But just go ahead and give everybody that piece of advice, and then we're going to take a look around your coffee bar really quick.
Yeah, for those people looking, in the coffee bar industry, maybe dreaming to have like a little coffee shop, or be around coffee. It's, be patient, and I'm sure if with your dedication, with your hard work, and you're gonna see, you're gonna start growing. You're gonna. It's like for me, I've been 3 years. Sometimes you think, man, I sell, everything that I sell, the trailer that I sell the coffee car. So because it's hard, I don't want to tell you, you're gonna build your own car, and you're gonna be making money maybe the next day. And for me, it was like a little harder. I'm recently moved from Puerto Rico, and have like look for that. I don't know how to say, like be able to find like where you need to go, or maybe what you need to do, to get more customer. Sometimes it wanna make you feel that you want to sell everything. You little by little, you're gonna get there. I've been moving around asking. Just don't be afraid for us. you asking, you want to do something and you want to get there, just look for it. And if you guys have any question, uh, you can reach me out. I know Dylan, we always, we never met, in a formal conversation, but, we are looking each other and, be proud of whatever everybody's doing. And it's good. It's good to, to meet you. I know you're doing your stuff. You have, a lot of stuff to do, and it's something, it's good to share with other people and have that feeling, that we're in the same boat,
Yeah. I
trying
mean,
to build something.
we've reached out a couple times to each other on Instagram Messenger, and we've talked just a little bit briefly here and there. And
Mm-hmm.
I believe that we first met. You came up on one of my Instagram people you should follow, and I was like, man, that's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. Like, you can appreciate when somebody has a passion doing what you do as well. And that is what I feel the coffee community does best, is they're
Mm-hmm.
willing to lend a hand out whenever you're in need of it. And it's the comfort, it's the friends, it's a family that you meet honestly all over the world. And I mean, we've never had, like you said, a formal conversation before, and this is the very first time. But for anybody who is struggling, maybe you've started the business and you're struggling, maybe you're struggling trying to get your foot in the door to start. If you need any kind of help, I mean, there's so many people in the coffee industry, the coffee community, that would love nothing more than to lend a hand to help without anything in return. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that you said it best. It's literally just brings people together, and that's why coffee is amazing in its entirety. So
And something that I enjoyed, it was like they doing last year. Last year it was, yeah. They was doing, like the latte art competition, the throwdown and stuff. And that was something, I didn't know how to make, a proper latte art. But in South Florida, there is a guy who runs the page soft flow coffee in Florida, and they visit, and they do like a lot of amazing events. And one day I say, let me sign in, let me meet the coffee people. I don't know anybody. And I went to the competition. It was like really fun. I went that time. I went maybe like 4 or 5 competition. And in latte art, man, there is people. There is way, way, but man, way over. But it's nice, and you know have them, maybe to guide you like a little bit, with your pour or something. You feel good, you feel that help that maybe you need that.
so I got to ask you a question. I see your mobile bar behind you. I've seen it on Instagram. If you could just show everybody your bar, kind of what's on it, and is your espresso machine currently on?
Yeah, it's on. It was about when the car went out. I said, maybe I have a little time to make coffee.
Did you make coffee already?
Nah, not yet, not yet.
So do you want to make some coffee? I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you want to make some coffee before we end?
Yeah, we can make something. We can make something.
Let's do it.
Mm. So this is like my first blue box. I call it, when I finish build it. It's something that I paint by myself. I get this. I don't know how you call this, like a cabinet.
Yep.
I get it from the market, like very cheap. I decide to paint it blue or whatever. Then I decided to call it, the Blue Box Coffee. It was something that I used to work at home. My wife, she loved it because she don't want to see the home coffee mess, and you can close it and nobody see.
Interesting. I never knew that that's why you named it Blue Box Coffee.
Yeah, that was the first one. My little blue box.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And now you
they have some
got a whole company on it now.
like a
Oh
wine
wow.
cooler for my wife. She's still happy.
That's
And
so cool.
I I try to fix like most everything, like a little shelf over there. I I did like the coffee roast levels in a little jar. That was when I started roasting. I
That's
got the
awesome.
Simonelli right now, the Oscar too. I did the OVP uh, installation, and right now I have the Vario.
Man,
It's
you put an
gonna,
extended hopper on that thing.
huh?
You put did you have to buy that separate, that extended hopper?
Yeah, I bought it from from Barasa
Okay.
because maybe this is the like I don't know how many machines that I bought before. Maybe where is the tripod? I bought maybe about 20 espresso machine. I had like three Brevio dual boiler. I I get the Barista Pro, the Brevio Barista. I got a couple like a little espresso machine like home, but I found one Faema. I found like a La Cimbali espresso machine. I had a couple espresso machine in this box already.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's see you make that coffee. Let's see that good latte art.
Right now, I get whatever design I get, I'm happy with. A little before that you get a little nervous, and I like this barrio because it weigh the coffee,
Oh, weighs the coffee out for you?
weigh the coffee out. Yeah, kind of nice. I'm using 21 grams, point 0.6. This is a very light roast coffee, and it's very very hard to dial in. So because the grinder is in the maximum level to go finer, I need to went up just a little bit, shake the basket, and
Man, you said 21 grams. That's a big shot.
I know, but that's the only way I can enjoy that coffee. It was like this this coffee from another roaster in in Orlando that I met him on Instagram, and he's doing his thing too. Um, yeah, I'm telling you, in light roast coffee, this cup of coffee roasting, this one is a Burundi double wash. In the description, it says take my full complex and safe and fun. And he's a very, very young guy, nice dude. He been in the industry maybe, I know, I'm not sure how long he been, but he's a roaster. Uh, I believe maybe more than 5 year or 4 year, and he been doing like a lot of fun stuff. And he's a really nice guy. Yeah, I always get coffee from him too.
So do you pull 1-to-2 ratio?
One, yeah, most of the part. Coming out nice.
See, the shot looks good.
Yeah. One little fast over there, but yeah. I think this machine for a home use, if the Oscar too, the Nova Simulator, I think have the best steam power ever.
Yeah, the steam power on the Simonellis are super nice, especially for the at home. I
Yeah,
mean, pretty much
yeah.
just like a commercial steam wand, maybe an extra 5, 6 seconds longer.
Give you that feeling. I don't know the right place. There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
Yeah.
Now that is a way to end the video right there.
It's kind of nice, kind of nice. No, the window ended when you sip it. Hmm. It's a nice coffee. It's a nice coffee, and you know, I always say to people, just uh, respect the coffee and try to do your best, with it and share with the people. Just coffee is always nice. You're never gonna have like a real like a complaint with coffee.
Well, we appreciate everything. We appreciate you taking the time to talk with us, to interview with us, and just to share your thoughts with the coffee community. And I mean, it's super helpful for many baristas out there, whether you're just getting into the business, you're just starting a passion, you're passionate already. The video is a way to bring people together to learn something from the video, whether it's maybe a challenge you faced or memories on why you enjoy serving coffee. And I just think that with doing videos like this, it really gives people an insight to specialty coffee maybe that they didn't realize prior to watching the video. And that's why we're doing these type of videos, just to get to know more about other people in the community, learn about their business, how they started, and just to tell a story. I mean, it's fun to be able to listen and to be inspired truly by other people out there and
Hmm.
do what you do for a living. Even if it's not your full-time job, it's something that you do on your own time because it's something you are super passionate about.
Hmm. Hmm. And it's it's just just get there, meet the people. There's a lot of people doing amazing stuff, and if you don't get in touch like with them, you're never gonna know. And start knowing the people and sharing and promoting. It's like everybody. I roast coffee, and right now I'm roasting. Oh, that's my main coffee. It's from Guatemala. Uh, there is a guy who lives in Orlando, a family owner farm, and they import coffee from their farm, and I think it's a really, really nice coffee. It helped me a lot. It's in a reasonable price you know, that you can sell and have, like a little profit. Yeah, you always tell the people like drink coffee, but make sure, you drink a nice coffee, a fresh cup of coffee. Make sure, you know, it's recently rose, maybe 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, or get the first possible. There is a lot of coffee roaster around, and I always tell the people don't, because sometimes they judge the coffee at first, like, I don't like that coffee or this coffee. But I told the people, like, you know how long it took me, to try that coffee in different methods, of brewing, and sometimes you don't even know what you're doing, and you're judging the coffee without know. And give some time, keep buying coffee, and keep drinking coffee. Find that recipe that you like. I'm sure that you're gonna find like a nice ratio that you're gonna enjoy. Maybe for espresso, maybe for pour overs. I was someone that I don't like cold brew before, but I fall in love. Like for me, it's one of the best way of of brewing that you can try. Like the naturals, flavor of the coffee. It's cold, yeah, it's cold, but it's nice. You know, the way the cold brew method, I keep everything cold. There's some people who brew it, in ambient temperature, or they brew it hot and they bring it down. In my recipe, I stay about 1 to 12 ratio, just depend on the roast of the coffee. Um, I keep my water cold. I found a way. I don't have the space to do it, so I put in like a big camera. A I make like a special ice for it, so the water and the ice is the same. So I weigh the ice, weigh the water, and put the recipe together. It's really cool. It's a way to have it like stash in a camera without putting in the cooler. Let it brew. Try it. When you get your 16 hour, start trying it and stop the brew, take it out and use it. Try it. It's nice.
Moral of the story: try all kinds of coffee. Don't look at one and not try it. If you haven't tried it yet, try it, because you're going to be able to try it from
Hmm.
a different farmer, different person who has a different roasting style, and it
Hmm.
just brings you together no matter how. As long as you try it, like you said, try to get it as fresh as possible, and I mean, the rest is history from there.
If for whoever is roasting coffee and selling in the market, something helped me. It was like these little bags. I do like 5 ounce bags. It help you because you can bring that price down a little bit. Is the people see it like a little more affordable, to buy it. I sell it in $7 on the market, 5 ounce, and sometimes they buy it. They see that they can buy another one maybe to share with the family, or give it as a gift to a friend. So I always tell the people, get the small bags. They good. I think that's the better way, to sell it. It's a better way. You go.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate everything. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us on this interview. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe to Espresso Outlet. And we just thank you and Blue Box Coffee for sharing all your knowledge and information with all of us out there in the world. It's been absolutely great. If you have any closing statements before we end the interview, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much. And I'm here. Just text me whatever you need. And to the people who watching, and you have any question, I'm more than happy. Dylan is more than happy to help. And I know many other people, in the coffee industry. I don't think like people get that personal. I don't want to help you, or whatever. Or I was lucky, to get some, to meet like a lot of amazing people who helped me, because it wasn't easy. It's not easy. We're still working. We're still planning, how to get a little bigger, how to, you know, maybe to hire some new employee. We're looking, because I need help, and this is getting a little big for me only. But I want to thank you. I want to thank the people who support the family. Everybody.
Well, we appreciate that. And
Yeah.
we'll definitely keep in touch on social media.
Of course, yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And if you're going to the farmer's market this weekend, good luck. Sell a lot of coffee.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you
Well,
so much. Okay.
have a good one.
Take care.